Here's more wrestling news for January 15th, 2023, and we're starting off today with the Royal Rumble as names are coming forward for the Men's Rumble match. With 9 names confirmed so far, 21 spots are still available to be filled, but Johnny Gargano may not be among them. Gargano was brought back to WWE in August 2022 but hasn't competed since suffering a sprained AC joint at a Toronto live event on December 30th. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that while Gargano is hoping to be back in time for the Rumble, it will be a close call. Meltzer explained that the injury Gargano suffered usually takes a month to heal from, and given he was injured in late December, he won't be back until late January at the earliest. Gargano had been a regular on Raw before his injury put him on the shelf, and it remains to be seen whether the former NXT champion can fight for a chance to headline WrestleMania. In 2017, Jinny signed with WWE and was a major part of the WWE NXT UK brand and regularly competed for the NXT UK Women's title. Jinny would never win the gold before the brand closed down last year, and now her wrestling career has come to an end. Taking to Twitter, Jinny confirmed that she is retiring from wrestling and hanging up her fashionable boots and thanked everyone for the memories they've given her. Jinny added that she's excited about what's next in her life and said that her decision came about due to dealing with a long-standing injury. Jinny was one of the few NXT UK stars not released by WWE, and she is currently in a relationship with WWE's Intercontinental Champion Gunther, and whatever comes next for her, we're wishing Jinny the very best. Since turning heel at WWE Clash at the Castle last September, Dominik Mysterio has come into his own as a character and is now a highlight of Raw. The Judgment Day member has come a long way in the 2.5 years since his in-ring debut at SummerSlam 2020, but he recently had some issues backstage. Sitting down with Conan on the K100 podcast, the young superstar was asked if he'd been scolded at a show yet, and said that this hasn't happened just yet. Mysterio added that some people in WWE have gotten on his case as he has a reputation for missing some flights, something Mysterio is hopefully working on. Dominik hasn't landed in any hot water yet, but he could improve on making sure he's traveling when he needs to, and with the Judgment Day the #1 contenders for the Raw Tag Team titles, that's a show the young Mysterio certainly won't want to miss. It was last month that William Regal parted ways with AEW after he was granted his release so he could return to WWE and be with his son. Regal's departure was big, as Tony Khan had not done many, if any, releases prior to his, but now another wrestler has been let go of his contract early. PW Insider reports that after facing Josh Alexander for the Impact World title in November, Frankie Kazarian requested his release, which Khan granted in what's called an amicable split. Kazarian's reason for leaving AEW is that he wants to push himself harder now in the final stages of his career and believes that he will have a better chance in Impact given AEW's massive roster. It was noted that Kazarian did business the right way and that the former AEW World Tag Team Champion would be welcomed back to Tony Khan's promotion anytime. Whether Kazarian reaches the heights in Impact that eluded him in AEW, time will tell, but the SCU alum isn't all elite anymore. One name who is in AEW is Saraya, who has had 2 matches for the company so far, the first at Full Gear and the second during this week's Dynamite. At this time, the British wrestler is 1-1 for matches in AEW, but wins and losses are hardly the most important thing on Saraya's mind. Speaking on her Twitch stream, Saraya was asked about returning from retirement and told viewers that she needs to be more selective with which moves she takes. Saraya added that the producer at AEW, BJ Whitmer, has also had serious neck injuries, so he knows what to do when it comes to Saraya competing despite her medical history. It is not known when Saraya will wrestle next, but the former Page did recently speak about wanting to do intergender wrestling, and whatever comes next, she and Whitmer will be focused on making her time in the ring as risk-free as it can be. During the Ruthless Aggression era, Triple H and John Cena were 2 of the most dominant WWE superstars, with each holding several world titles during this time. While the game was popular in his own right, Cena was positioned as the face of WWE, which may have rubbed Triple H the wrong way. Speaking on his Café de Rene podcast, former WWE superstar Rene Dupree cast doubt on the story that Cena was nearly fired in 2002 and spoke about the tensions between himself and the game. The story goes that Cena was on the chopping block, right? But I didn't see that at all. I think that might be bullshit just to make his story because I saw the interaction when I first got there with Cena and Vince. I don't think he was going, but I know Hunter didn't like him. Hunter was jealous of him, that's what it was. Triple H may have had issues with Cena, but that didn't stop him from putting John over at WrestleMania 22 and failing to capture the WWE title from Cena in a triple threat the following month at Backlash. Nowadays, Triple H is WWE's head of creative and would love to have Cena back on his cards, but things weren't always so pleasant between the two former world champions. One name fans haven't seen on TV in a while is Riddle, who was written off with an injury, but that isn't the real reason for his absence. Riddle was written off TV last month because he failed WWE's wellness policy, and this latest violation reportedly resulted in the original Bro entering rehab. Amidst his absence from TV, Riddle took to Twitter this week to share a photo with his family, saying he's happy to be back with them and enjoyed some sushi. Even during his time away from WWE TV, Riddle has been a controversial topic, with multiple women, some of which being adult film stars, accusing him of infidelity. Riddle may be popular with WWE fans, but his actions outside the ring have led to questions as to how far WWE is willing to push him, but if nothing else, at least Riddle was able to enjoy his day out with his kids. Last September, Mickie James announced her last rodeo, saying she would retire from wrestling after her next loss in pursuit of the Knockouts World Championship. At Hard to Kill, James captured the title from Jordynne Grace in the main event, becoming a 5-time holder of the gold, but the wrestling veteran knows that her career will have to end one day. During an interview with Women's Wrestling Talk, James said how she has been wrestling for half of her lifespan and that the concept of retiring is a struggle. James gave the metaphor that her retirement is like a book that she never truly wants to close, and added that wrestling has given her everything. It's professional wrestling that turned the Richmond, Virginia daughter of a wastewater treatment worker and a real estate agent into an internationally known name, but James is still not ready to hang up her boots just yet. And we're ending today with Mr. Kennedy, who was once poised to be the next big heel in WWE. Those plans for Kennedy didn't pan out, but this week, the former US champion resurfaced with a startling new look. In a photo shared online, Kennedy can be seen rocking a bald look and has also gotten some facial hair, while he spent much of his WWE run completely clean-shaven. In addition to WWE, Kennedy would work as Mr. Anderson in Impact, where he would become world champion, and the Green Bay Loudmouth certainly looks different to his WWE days.